I'm trying very hard in my practice, but I don't seem to be getting anywhere. This is very important. Don't try to get anywhere in the practice. The very desire to be free or to be enlightened will be the desire that prevents your freedom. You can try as hard as you wish. Practice ardently night and day. But if it is still with the desire to achieve in mind, you will never find peace. The energy from this desire will be a cause for doubt and restlessness. No matter how long or how hard you practice, wisdom will not arise from desire. So simply let go. Watch the mind and body mindfully, but don't try to achieve anything. Don't cling even to the practice of enlightenment. What about sleep? How much should I sleep? Don't ask me. I can't tell you. What is important, though, is that you watch and know yourself. If you try to go with too little sleep, the body will feel uncomfortable, and mindfulness will be difficult to sustain. Too much sleep leads to a dull or a restless mind. Find the natural balance for yourself. Carefully watch the mind and body and keep track of sleep needs until you find the optimum. Is it advisable to read a lot or study the scriptures as part of practice? The Dharma of the Buddha is not found in books. If you want to really see for yourself what the Buddha was talking about, you don't need to bother with books. Watch your own mind. Examine to see how feelings come and go, how thoughts come and go. Don't be attached to anything. Just be mindful of whatever there is to see. This is the way to the truths of the Buddha. Be natural. Everything you do in your life is a chance to practice. It is all Dharma. When you do your work, try to be mindful. Whatever you are doing, don't feel you are doing it as a favour for anyone else. There is Dharma in whatever you are doing. Cleaning, washing up. Don't feel you are practicing only when you're sitting still or cross-legged. Some of you have complained that there's not enough time to meditate. Is there enough time to breathe? This is your meditation. mindfulness, naturalness in whatever you do. What can I do about doubts? Some days I'm plagued with doubts about the practice, or my own progress, or the teacher. Doubting is natural. Everyone starts out with doubts. You can learn a great deal from them. What is important is that you don't identify with your doubts. That is, don't get caught up in them. This will spin your mind in endless circles. Instead, watch the whole process of doubting, of wondering. See who it is that doubts. See how doubts come and go. Then you will no longer be victimized by your doubts. You will step outside of them, and your mind will be quiet. You can see how all things come and go. Just let go of what you are attached to. Let go of your doubts and simply watch. This is how to end doubting. What about other methods of practice? These days there seem to be so many teachers and so many different systems of meditation that it is confusing. It's like going into town. One can approach from the north, from the southeast, from many roads. Often these systems just differ outwardly. Whether you walk one way or another, fast or slow, if you are mindful, it is all the same. There is one essential point that all good practice must eventually come to: not clinging. In the end, all meditation systems must be let go of. Neither can one cling to the teacher. If a system leads to relinquishment, to not clinging, then it is correct practice. You may wish to travel, to visit other teachers and try other systems. Many of you have already done so. This is a natural desire. You will find out that 1,000 questions asked and knowledge of many systems will not bring you to the truth. Eventually, you will get bored. You will see that only by stopping and examining your own mind can you find out what the Buddha talked about. No need to go searching outside yourself. Eventually you must return to face your own true nature. Here is where we can understand the Dharma. Is it necessary to sit for very long stretches? No, sitting for hours on end is not necessary. Some people think that the longer you can sit, the wiser you must be. I have seen chickens sit on their nests for days on end. Wisdom comes from being mindful in all postures. Your practice should begin as you awaken in the morning. It should continue until you fall asleep. Don't be concerned about how long you can sit. What is important is only that you keep watchful, whether you are working or sitting or going to the bathroom. Each person has their own natural pace. Some of you will die at age 50, some at 65, and some at age 90. So too, your practice will not be all identical. Don't think or worry about this. Try to be mindful and let things take their natural course. Then your mind will become quieter and quieter in any surroundings. It will become still, like a clear forest pool. Then all kinds of wonderful and rare animals will come to drink at the pool. You will see clearly the nature of all things in the world. You will see many wonderful and strange things come and go. But you will be still. Problems will arise, and you will see through them immediately. This is the happiness of the Buddha. I still have very many thoughts. My mind wanders a lot, even though I'm trying to be mindful. Don't worry about this. Try to keep your mind in the present. Whatever there is that arises in the mind, just watch it. Let go of it. Don't even wish to be rid of thoughts. Then the mind will reach its natural state. No discriminating between good and bad, hot and cold, fast and slow. No me and no you. No self at all. Just what there is. When you walk, there's no need to do anything special. Simply walk and see what there is. No need to cling to isolation or seclusion. Wherever you are, know yourself by being natural and watching. If doubts arise, watch them come and go. It's very simple. Hold on to nothing. It is as though you are walking down a road. Periodically you will run into obstacles. When you meet defilements, just see them and just overcome them by letting go of them. Don't think about the obstacles you have passed already. Don't worry about those you have not yet seen. Stick to the present. Don't be concerned about the length of the road or about the destination. Everything is changing. Whatever you pass, do not cling to it. Eventually, the mind will reach its natural balance, where practice is automatic. All things will come and go of themselves. You have said that Summita and Vipassana, or concentration and insight, are the same. Could you explain this further? It is quite simple. Concentration, Summita, and wisdom, Vipassana, work together. First, the mind becomes still by holding on to a meditation object. It is quiet only while you are sitting with your eyes closed. This is Summita. And eventually this samadhi base is the cause for wisdom, or Vipassana, to arise. Then the mind is still, whether you sit with your eyes closed or walk around in a busy city. It's like this. Once you were a child, now you are an adult. Are the child and the adult the same person? You can say that they are. Or looking at it another way, you can say that they are different. In this way, Summita and Vipassana could also be looked at as separate. Or it's like food and feces. Food and feces could be called the same, and they can be called different. But don't just believe what I say. Do your practice and see for yourself. Nothing special is needed. If you examine how concentration and wisdom arise, you will know the truth for yourself. These days many people cling to the words. They call their practice Vipassana. Samatha is looked down on. All they call their practice Samatha. It's essential to do Samatha before Vipassana, they say. All this is silly. Don't bother to think about it in this way. Simply do the practice and you'll see for yourself. Is it necessary to be able to enter jhanas or absorption, concentration in our practice? No, absorption is not necessary. You must establish a modicum of tranquility and one-pointedness of mind. Then you use this to examine yourself. Nothing special is needed. But if absorption or jhanas come in your practice, this is okay too. Just don't hold on to it. Some people get hung up with jhanas. It can be great fun to play with, but you must know proper limits. If you are wise, then you will know the uses and limitation of absorption, just as you know the limitations of children versus grown men. How can we overcome lust in our practice? Sometimes I feel as if I'm a slave to my sexual desire. Lust should be balanced by contemplation of repulsiveness. Attachment to bodily form is one extreme, and one should keep in mind the opposite. Examine the body as a corpse and see the process of decay. Or think of the parts of the body such as the lungs, spleen, fat, feces, and so forth. Remember these and visualize the repulsive aspect of the body when lust arises. This will free you from lust. What about anger? What should I do when I feel anger arising? You must use loving kindness. When angry states of mind arise in meditation, balance them by developing feelings of loving kindness. If someone does something bad or gets angry, don't get angry yourself. If you do, you are being more ignorant than them. Be wise. Keep in mind compassion, for that person is suffering. Fill your mind with loving kindness, as if they were a dear brother or sister. Concentrate on the feeling of loving kindness as a meditation subject. Spread it to all beings in the world. Only through loving kindness is hatred overcome. Sometimes you may see others behaving badly. You may get annoyed. This is suffering unnecessarily. It is not yet our Dharma. Do not make comparisons. Do not discriminate. Let go of your opinions and watch your opinions and watch yourself. This is our Dharma. You can't possibly make everyone act as you wish or be like you. This wish will only make you suffer. It's a common mistake for meditators to make. But watching other people won't develop wisdom. Simply examine yourself, your feelings. This is how you will understand. What is the biggest problem of your meditators? Opinions, views and ideas about all things, about themselves, about practice, about the teachings of the Buddha. Many of those who come here have a high rank in the community. There are wealthy merchants or college graduates, teachers and government officials. Their minds are filled with opinions about things. They are too clever to listen to others. It is like water in a cup. If a cup is filled with dirty, stale water, it is useless. Only after the old water is thrown out can the cup become useful. You must empty your minds of opinions. Then you will see. Our practice goes beyond cleverness and beyond stupidity. If you think, I am clever, I am wealthy, I am important, I understand all about Buddhism, you cover up the truth of anatta, or no self. All you will see is self, I, mine. But Buddhism is letting go of self. Voidness, emptiness, nibbana. Are defilements such as greed and anger merely illusory, or are they real? They are both. The defilements we call lust or greed, or anger or delusion. These are just outward names, appearances. Just as we call a bowl large, small, pretty, or whatever. This is not reality. It is the concept we create from craving. If we want a big bowl, we call this one small. Craving causes us to discriminate. The truth, though, is merely what is. Look at it this way. Are you a man? You can say, yes. This is the appearance of things, but really you are only a combination of elements or a group of changing aggregates. If the mind is free, it does not discriminate. No big and small. No you and me. There is nothing. Anatta, we say, or non-self. Really, in the end, there is neither atta, self, nor anatta, non-self. I have been developing very peaceful states of mind from meditation. What should I do now? This is good. Make the mind peaceful, concentrated. Use this concentration to examine the mind and body. When the mind is not peaceful, you should also watch. Then you will know true peace. Why? Because you will see impermanence. Even peace must be seen as impermanent. If you are attached to peaceful states of mind, you will suffer when you do not have them. Give up everything, even peace. Did I hear you say that you are afraid of very diligent disciples? Yes, that's right. I am afraid. I am afraid that they are too serious. They try too hard, but without wisdom. They push themselves into unnecessary suffering. Some of you are determined to become enlightened. You grit your teeth and struggle all the time. This is trying too hard. People are all the same. They don't know the nature of things, of sankhara. All formations, body and mind, are impermanent. Simply watch and don't cling. Others think they know. They criticize, they watch, they judge. That's okay. Leave their opinions to them. This discrimination is dangerous. It is like a road with a very sharp curve. If we think others are worse or better or the same as us, we go off the curve. If we discriminate, we will only suffer. Can you review some of the main points of our discussion? You must examine yourself. Know who you are. Know your body and mind by simply watching. In sitting, in sleeping, in eating, know your limits. Use wisdom. The practice is not to try to achieve anything. Just be mindful of what is. Our whole meditation is looking directly at the mind. You will see suffering, its cause and its end. But you must have patience, much patience and endurance. Gradually, you will learn. The Buddha taught his disciples to stay with their teachers for at least 5 years. You must learn the value of giving, of patience, and of devotion. Don't practice too strictly. Don't get caught up with outward form. Watching others is faulty practice. Simply be natural and watch that. The essence of the practice is watching intention, examining the mind. You must have wisdom and not discriminate. Would you get upset at a small tree in the forest for not being tall and straight like some of the others? This is silly. Don't judge other people. There are all varieties. No need to carry the burden of wishing to change them. So, be patient. Practice morality. Live simply and be natural. Watch the mind. This is our practice. It will lead you to unselfishness, to peace.